danced in the morning when the world was begun.
Stand up.
And I danced in the moon and the stars and the sun. I came down from heaven and I danced on the earth. At Bethlehem I had my
Now you're going to turn round. Here we go.
Dance then wherever you may be. I am the Lord of the dance that be. I'll lead you all wherever you may be, and I'll lead you all in the dance that be.
School's been involved in the last 3 years in the Rosetown ICT cluster, and although the emphasis was on, it sounds like the emphasis is on ICT, that's what it sounds like, the actual emphasis is on inquiry learning. So it's actually using the technology, and becoming very familiar with technology, but making sure that children and, first of all, teachers can actually use a process of inquiry and are very comfortable with that method, so that they can actually then move that method on to children, and then children become very confident.
Inquiry is probably very useful in life because you get to learn about every topic, and it gives you more and more information every time you learn.
How has your laptop changed your job?
My laptop has changed my job because I'm now able to use it for planning, so it makes my work a lot neater and a lot easier. It means that I can just change any of the plans and things that I already have, rather than having to redo them all over again. My laptop gives me instant access to the internet, and it means that I can also connect to our data projector. Having the data projector there and the laptop working together means that I don't have to photocopy as many things as I used to have to do, and we can all just focus on the one thing altogether, rather than a photocopied piece of paper in front of us, which gets thrown away at the end of it.
What other hardware do you find most useful, and why?
I'd have to say with the data projector, because it means that everyone can see the same information at the same time. I can draw their attention to it using my little pointer. Okay, and our data projector is really good because it has a zoom button, so I can actually zoom in on whatever we're doing and make it big enough so that everyone can see, even the people right at the back.
What would you like to have most, and why?
At the moment, I would say I would like to have more computers for the students to be able to use in the class. We have 4 that are working at the moment, and we have 28 students in the class. I'd like to have another few computers, or maybe some laptops, so that the kids can, be mobile around the classroom and use them a little bit more often.
Do you think ICT makes school better, and why?
I think it makes it better because the data projector, everybody gets to see the stuff that's on there, and we all get to learn a lot more. In athletics, it's good for everybody because they can learn all the fractions and decimal and numerals, and it's good having a lot more computers in the classroom compared to last year, because there was only about 3, but now there's a lot more, so we can all challenge each other and everything else.
How has your laptop changed your job?
It's made it a lot, getting resources and lesson plans and things like that a lot easier, and I have everything on my laptop.
How do you think schools can help the community?
I think schools can help the community by doing things like projects, research into local problems, things like that, and sort of to educate the public about education today and how we learn.
How do you think the community can help schools?
to help schools, probably to provide things like computers that they're not using, perhaps have experts come in and talk to the children.
What online presence do you use in your class?
Well, we're using blogs at the moment. We've only just started, but everybody in this class, everybody sitting down here has got a blog that they're using for their energy topic.
What do you use them for? Inquiry?
Well, we use them for our inquiry study. Like our inquiry topic this year is all about, this term is all about solar energy, and everybody had to choose a topic about energy related to that, but different. Some are doing geothermal, some are doing wind, and some are doing hydropower, that's right, and all sorts of others.
How do you think it helps to improve the achievement of your class?
Well, I think it's helping the kids in my class do the study themselves, where they don't have to rely on me to show them what to do, but they're having a go themselves and learning how to do it for themselves, and I think that's good. Hands up whose mum or dad has put a message on their blog. Ryan, what do your mum and dad think about it?
It's good
Why? Why do they like
because
it?
it can keep you remembering what you've been doing in the past.
Drew, what about you? What do your mum and dad think about the blog?
Because then they don't have to come to class to see what you're doing, and they can see it at home.
Very good. Yeah, that's mainly the aim, isn't it? It's partly that you learn how to do the study yourself, and then secondly, Mum and Dad can get a good picture of what's going on without just from home.
What thinking skills do you use in your classroom?
Usually the white hat and usually mostly all of them, because in reading we're usually doing a reflection of all the hats that we're using, and first we needed to glue the sheet in and then start reading the book and then doing the information and all the stuff. And for the white hat we did a summary, and summary is a retell of the story and all the main ideas.
What is a thinking skill that you like to use?
Green hat, because I usually want to make stuff, and for my sister's birthday I'm going to make her another dollhouse that you can just open the front of the house.
When have you used your thinking hats without the teacher telling you to?
Usually in my homework, because for the for our maths that we had to do, we were doing cross sections, and there was this kind of triangle, and I was trying to use the green hat to create what shape it was.
What thinking skills do you use in your class?
We use the black hat, the yellow hat, the blue hat, the red hat, and the green hat.
Okay. And what do you use them for?
We use them for writing, reading, and reflections.
How do you think schools can help the community?
In what respect? With technology? Schools can play a role of actually helping to teach the community about the value of technology. For example, like the computer, the internet, how that impacts on inquiry learning, especially, and how the children can use that. I think to help the community a bit more, we should hold evenings to teach parents how to search properly, and using, like within Google, using .edu as a search thing to make sure that the equipment the children, or what the children are searching, is leading them to correct sites.
And how do you think the community can help schools?
Well, there's lots of people out in the community with skills that would actually be very helpful, especially within technology. They could come in and teach the skills that a lot of teachers don't have around a lot of the technology we have at present. They're also a really valuable resource when you're doing inquiry learning. They are the resource that's available there to be spoken to, and they have actually got a lot of knowledge. Computers we tend to use as a main source of knowledge, but there is a lot of knowledge out there in the community that we could use to help the schools.
How would an ACE help the students in the school?
Because it's small and it's compact and it can easily connect to like the internet and stuff.
How many should we have?
One for every student.
Why?
Because it's compact and it's pretty cheap.
How cheap?
$500.
How do you think schools can help the community with learning?
I think that schools can make access to parents a lot easier. Like I think that we could have a lot more stuff on our website, or access to people. Like, for instance, one of the things I want to get into this year is putting something on the website about how you can help your children with reading at home. So if parents are having a problem, all they need to do is to go to the website, and there will be a thing on how to support your child's reading that they can read straight away when they need it. Another one we want to do is preparing your children for school, so that if children are enrolled at school and if it's getting closer to their birthday, then that parents can just get in there and say, this is the sorts of things the school needs them to know, like how to tie your shoelaces or whatever, you know, that stuff.
How do you think the community can help schools with learning?
I think communities can be more supportive of schools. I think that's becoming harder actually with mums and dads working. In the past we've had quite a lot of parent helps in the classrooms, and I think that's been beneficial to the parent and the children and the teacher. And I think it's sort of getting a little bit harder with school trips and that, but I think by communities being open-minded to children coming to visit them and to find out about them and what they're doing in the community, that would make it easier. For instance, I know you can't go to the dairy factory anymore because of health and safety issues. You know, we used to be able to take kids to all sorts of those sorts of places that we can't do anymore, and maybe people need to lighten up a little bit about that.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.